Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Westeros Total War Enhanced Alpha Edition House Tully. You may notice there's a few turns ahead, so we'll give you a quick overhaul on what you've missed since the last part. In the last part we lose the Blackfish Tully, King of the Riverlands, to take King's Landing and kill Joffrey the Mad King. As you notice, House Renly of Baratheon now controls the Crown Lands, or at least a portion of it. That occurred through diplomatic negotiation with Tytos Blackwood, the Steward of the Riverlands. He became the steward of the Riverlands after the Blackfish took an arrow to the face when taking the walls of King's Landing. While the battle was a victory, the king fell, and his only son was not yet of age. So Tytos Blackwood, being a good close friend to the Blackfish, and loyal to the Tullys, took his only son as protector, if you will, claiming the unofficial title of Steward of the Riverlands, raising Danos Tully, I believe, as his own son, and claiming the title of Lord of Riverrun until such time that Tully came of age. Now, Tytos passed away shortly after his king came of age. He later claimed the title King of the Riverlands, Danos Tully, King of the Riverlands. He is currently the only male heir of House Tully. But, through recent diplomatic negotiation with House Renly, we now have a strong marital alliance and blood alliance with the Baratheon line from the Crown Lands to the Stormlands. So, he already has a son who's named after himself and a daughter. When his son comes of age, he'll be the new heir of the Riverlands, and we will marry him off to either a Martell girl or a Tyrell to further strengthen our alliance. So, currently, the whole of Westeros is at peace, with only the usurper Stannis Baratheon worshipping his heretic gods, disturbing the peace. When he falls, the realm will last see an end to this war. The King of the Riverlands musters his men to the side of the Crown Lands and is boarding his ships, along with his most trusted of generals. Piper here will come over here and deal with some Stannis generals before anything else can happen. Danos himself, along with Blackwood, and this is Blackwood's son, by the way, the son of Tytos Blackwood, his oldest son, and the Lord of Raventry, since his father's death at least. Along with some custom generals, and vaguely just pretty much all of the forces of the Riverlands marching on what's left of Stannis Baratheon's army. We'll send off this fleet here and go over to that way, because Tarth is still under control of House Stannis. I just want to check something for a second. Yeah, we've got skip our movement on, we don't want that. What are you doing, game? There you go. Okay, next turn. But yeah. Once Stannis is dealt with, Westeros will be at peace. And the Seven Kingdoms, or actually, shall I say, we've got the North, my kingdom of the Riverlands, Stormlands, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's more like along the lines of the 5 kingdoms will be at peace. Everybody's got an alliance to everybody, apart from Stannis. Stannis is literally the only outsider and the only enemy that anyone has to face. So once he's out of the way, peace will reign over the land. All we have to do is get rid of Stannis. And then House Tully can rule as King of the Riverlands for Millennia. You know, until someone gets pushy. But, hopefully, at the very least, we've already secured a marital alliance with Renly and the Iron Throne. Tully's son, when he comes of age, will be married to a Tyrell girl. We already have marital relations with House Stark. They are already related to House Tully, and we vaguely related to them through the Karstark line. So our alliance with the North is secured, our alliance with the Iron Throne is secured, and when Danos' son comes of age, alliance with what remains of the Reach and House Tyrell will be secured as well. Especially since we're going to aid right now in the retaking of Dragonstone, and the end of Stannis Baratheon. The only actually remaining claimant to the Iron Throne other than Renly himself.
mon roi. We attack.
Oui, Seigneur. We have this power.
Now we'll use Piper here to attack
They will regret crossing France.
what remaining loyalists Stannis has on the mainland. With the death of these generals, hopefully, at the very least, we should be able to wipe out
Can stand in our way.
most, if not all, of his supporters.
Ready to say.
Oui. Who, Seigneur?
We'll move Goodbrick over to the docks here. Okay, and not forgetting the fleet here that we want to send to Tarth.
Let's say.
The good thing is, all factions seem to have a decent amount of princesses that I can marry off my sons and grandsons and different generals and bannermen off to. House Stark has plenty of princesses, Renly still has a few princesses up his sleeve, and Tyrell has a few daughters as well. I'm sure Martell has some scattered around the place. I think there's one outside Duskendale, actually, to be honest. Yeah, there is, right now. So as you see, there is an abundance of opportunity to strengthen my alliances with the other lords of Westeros. Stannis is now 60 years old. He's got his son in the capital as well.
Where shall we strike?
Ready to say.
Seigneur, strike first onto the boats.
Oui, mon roi. Full sails. Oui, mon roi.
I don't think I can get anyone more on this little island. Nope.
Ready to say. Oui, mon roi.
Get ashore at once.
Ah, no, I can.
We march on our victims, Seigneur. These lands
Oui, Seigneur. Oui, mon roi.
better to be ashore. Seigneur.
Let's do this.
Crossing France.
Once we take Tarth, Dragonstone will be the only place that Stannis has left. Once he falls, and his son, who's also in Dragonstone by the looks of things, that will be the end of Stannis Baratheon and his line, and Renly will have the only claim to the Iron Throne. Until the Targaryens show up, at least. And when they do show up, they'll have the entire united force of Westeros and the 5 kingdoms on their ass. So they're relatively screwed. Let's just wait and see if we can get better weather and less fog. There you go. Now we can actually see where everything is. A nice sunset to kick some fucking Stannis ass. Damn. A nice open map as well for all this cavalry that I apparently have with this army. Okay, let's move my infantry line forward. Screw the defensive tactics, we'll go in there, charge in my cavalry and kick some ass.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Double die.
Okay, move in the rest of the cavalry.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Okay, surround him and kick his ass. And there goes their general. The rest of them should now rout quite easily.
Guard him well and make it so he can see us defeat the rest of his army.
Okay, time 6 and just mop up operation now, really.
Our cowardly foe runs.
Now I want to kill as many of them as we can. Okay then, only a couple of them running away now, and then that's it. Victory is ours, and Tarth is ours. We'll give Tarth to Renly on the Iron Throne as a gift of our generosity.
Which only belongs to men of great virtue and valor.
After all, Tully never had any interest in the Iron Throne at all, so the kingship of the Riverlands is far more than we. Well, that's what we want, really. Just hold the Riverlands, and that's it.
Where shall we strike? We shall slaughter them.
Okay, Tarth will soon be ours.
Blocking access to the Farana.
Seigneur.
Oui, mon roi.
Ready and able. We disembark here, men. An honor. Where shall we strike? We march on our victims.
Driftmark is ours.
The enemies is now yours. Seigneur, for the honor of France, we will attack.
Let's send in Blackwood to deal with these remaining Stannis forces on the outskirts of Dragonstone. And once they're dealt with, Dragonstone itself and Stannis are completely screwed. Okay, this is mainly just going to be a all-out attack, really.
battle is very much in our favor. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
Come on, Blackwood, get out of there, you idiot. Uh-oh. That's not good.
Away, and perhaps our chances of victory with it.
Okay, my men are strong enough to realize that they can still win this. There's no need to do anything stupid like rout. Okay, let's keep pushing forward, beating back. Not be overly distraught by the loss of what's his face, Blackwood. He isn't Blackwood's only son, though. He's just the one that's recently come of age. Okay, Stannis' forces here are a lot more organized than I had in mind. Don't rout, you idiots.
Winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
I mean, seriously, routing, stupid idea. We've pretty much won this. At least they're not routing far, but it's those cavalry units that are doing it.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy. The enemy is badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
No, stop routing, you idiots.
Our army is tiring. Seigneur, only half of our force remains. Milord, the tide of battle seems to have turned against us. We must act and hold this turn of events.
Okay, yeah, I think we've lost this one.
Only intervention by all
Would have been fine if Blackwood was still alive, but nevertheless...
victory from this. The defeat is a bitter drop to swallow. Next time,
Yeah.
it will be our foe that steals from this most town.
From what I could tell, Blackwood was for some reason stuck in the middle of the thing. I think that's because I sent him after the crossbowmen at the beginning of the fucking encounter and I completely, like, forgot about him. Which sucks.
Fall back and regroup. Our men are exhausted, Seigneur.
But Blackwood's dead.
An order, they will be ready and able. Glory to mon roi. We attack.
Ready to say. Oui, mon roi. Ready to say.
Seigneur,
Oui, mon roi.
where shall we strike?
He was a good friend of Tully. Okay, that was just kind of a sucky loss, really, but... He's not the last of the Blackwoods. I think he still had 2 sons. Not yet of age, but... Nevertheless. Still a tragic loss, I believe. At the end of all things, the House Blackwood is going to be a very powerful, prominent faction and house in the Riverlands. For their loyalty and service in the wars, and not to mention looking after the sole Tully heir.
Ready to say.
Get ashore at once. An order? Oui, mon roi.
Oui, mon roi.
Seigneur,
Ready to say.
taking the Oriflamme ashore, mon roi.
I only respect strength. Something.
Oui, mon roi. For the honor of France, we will attack. The day is ours, mon roi. To battle it is, then, Seigneur. Oui, beginning, Seigneur. We shall slaughter.
Okay, Stannis Baratheon. Or Baratheon. Lord of Dragonstone. And the last usurper. With his death, the realm shall see peace. At last.
Death by my hand.
And as an example to all that would usurp the Iron Throne,
These people serve
and fuck with my friends.
Seigneur.
And with that, the war is over.
Getting aboard the transport.
Oui, Seigneur.
Oui. The men are
Oui, mon roi.
better to be
Oui, Seigneur. Ready to say.
moving ashore.
Oui, Seigneur. Oui,
Seigneur.
oui, mon roi.
Oui. Leaving.
Oui, Seigneur. Oui, mon roi.
An honor.
Ready to say.
Oui. We disembark.
Oui, mon roi. Oui, Seigneur. Sensei.
Seigneur.
Ready to say. Oui, Seigneur. Oui, mon roi.
An order.
Très bien, mon roi.
But yeah, we now have a relatively strong alliance with Renly through marriage to the current king of the Riverlands. When his son comes of age, we'll marry him off to either Martell Girl or a Tyrell, depending on who's the more powerful. I believe through all of the war and all of the fighting, House Tyrell's come out the least favourable house in all of this. They've probably lost the most. They've lost pretty much all of the reach. Their factions have been cut in half. Although, I don't believe they lost too many generals, and Mace Tyrell is still the Lord of Highgarden, I believe.
Ready.
Although, for how much longer, who knows.
En route, Seigneur. Oui. En route.
But, with the last usurper dead,
As you wish.
Ready to say.
Get ashore at once.
Oui, mon roi.
the king is free to return to Riverrun.
An order. Where shall we strike? Forward. Continuing tomorrow.
Oui, mon roi.
Although we still need to take even for Hall.
We march on our victims, Seigneur. Victoire!
I may, as a trading port with Renly, keep Tarth for myself. I'll keep Dragonstone and Driftmark for myself as well. You know, just as a bit of insurance to keep the Iron Throne perfectly aware that if I wanted to, and if they gave me reason, I could attack them. But it's in everyone's best interest that we remain friends, I believe. Like I said, we're related to House Stark through quite a large amount. Catelyn Stark is, of course, married to Eddard, and then the King of the North is Robb Stark. So he's related to House Tully. So we're related to the current Kings in the North and House Stark. Renly's family line and the Baratheons are related to me through recent marriage to the King of the Riverlands. Tyrell or Martell. I think Tyrell because they border my lands a lot more than Martell do. Will also be tied to my faction through marriage alliance later down the road as well. But that is when his son comes of age. We've also, of course, got the 3 Tully girls that we can use and marry off to the minor lords of the Riverlands and any other lords that give me a bit of a political advantage down the road. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it, really. I don't want to conquer all of Westeros or anything, and we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves because, well, we don't know when version 1.0 is going to be coming out in the coming weeks. So I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, have like 8 factions recorded, and pretty much I don't want to be uploading stuff with the alpha when the version 1.0 is out, because that's just pointless, really. I mean, I'm never going to touch the alpha again, pretty much, unless for submods until they update them. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure what faction we'll do next. Depending on whether or not we've heard anything new about version 1.0, or whether or not it's out, or how much time we have left, with all these factors, the next faction that I will do will probably be Renly. Or, well, if there's enough people that say another faction, then I'll do another faction, but I'm leaning towards Renly if we have the time.
Of course, Seigneur. Oui. Marchez, mon roi. Oui, Seigneur. Huh. Tightening. Where shall we strike? They will regret crossing France. Ah! Nothing, mon roi. By your will, Seigneur. Seigneur. Your will, mon roi.
Leave this army here in Maidenpool to secure our borders. But yeah, if we have time, the next faction that I do with the Alpha, and probably the last, will be House of Renly. Of course, we don't want to do... Well, it all really does depend on how much we've heard about version 1.0. I mean, currently when I'm recording this, I've heard that it's going to be coming out in a month or 2. So you can understand why I don't want to get ahead of myself and record too much, just in case it comes out and we're still uploading. And I've still got like 40 fucking alpha videos to upload. But yeah, Westeros is at an official peace, really, for the first time in fucking like ages. Everyone's allied to everyone. I'm allied to... Well, look, I'll show you. I'm allied to Renly with a marriage alliance. Tyrell with a marriage alliance once my son, Tully's son, comes of age and we marry them off to House Tyrell. They do border my lands, so we'll make a marriage alliance with them. We've got a marriage alliance with Stark. 2, actually, if you count the fact that all the Starks are in fact related to House Tully through their through Catelyn Stark or Catelyn Tully. We don't have a military alliance. We don't have a marriage alliance with House Martell, but they are trustworthy and our relationship is admirable. But everyone is allied to everybody. No one's at war with anyone, and the 7 kingdoms, or at least the 5 kingdoms, as it is now, are completely at peace. For now, at least.
As you wish, mon roi. An order? En route. Holding this
we'll set up vaguely defensive positions all around the Riverlands. Down the line, marry off daughters and sons off the different lords to gain just political advantage and secure our alliances with each other, obviously. But yeah, that's pretty much it, really. I mean, all the stuff that I'm talking about is just lore-wise. I always make up my own little story to all the playthroughs that I do. Okay, the king is in Riverrun. Danos Tully, the king of the Riverlands. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. We'll do one more turn and then place someone in the thing and then we'll end it. But obviously we don't want to go to war with anybody else. There's little point. Westeros is at peace, and I believe it's a perfect place to end it, really. We've had some close calls in this, with the current king of the Riverlands being the only male Tully left of his line, almost wiped out at one point. The Blackfish almost had 4 fucking daughters, which would have just completely ended the Tully line there. But okay, guys, House Tully now controls the Vale, the Riverlands, and the Westerlands, making the entire kingdom known as the Riverlands from now on. I believe I'll give certain lords, like House Blackwood, will be promoted up into the ranks and made a lot more powerful, given control of Harrenhal and important strategic locations for their part in the war. House Bracken, who is also married to the Blackwoods now, actually. They put aside their differences. I will also give positions of the power in the defensive locations, usually around the borders, so that we know I've got people that I can trust defending, just in case anyone decides to attack me. But that is very unlikely, considering we have some really strong alliances with our bordering neighbours. So guys, the 5 kingdoms, as it is, the North, the Riverlands, the Stormlands, the Reach, or at least what's left of the Reach, and Dawn, are all at peace, all allied to each other, and nobody is at war with anybody. So guys, I believe peace is a real nice way to end this part. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure what we're going to be recording next. Chances are by the time I've uploaded this, I'd have thought of something. So anyway guys, annotation top right hand side will lead to generally whatever the hell I upload after this. So, that's all for now. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's been quite a nice little challenging playthrough to begin with. There was some points at the beginning when I thought to myself I might actually lose this. But once we took the Vale, we had enough forces to push back the Lannisters. And once we got a constant flowing income, we had enough power just to kick some ass. So guys, that's all for now. Like I said, annotation top right hand side will lead you to whatever the hell I upload next. Soul out!